Chris, what makes you believe that you are the embodiment of a dominant male? No shade, but you and your 5'4" self give zero indicators of this dominant man that you present yourself to be over Connor. Just keeping it real. From a woman's perspective, just keeping it real with you. Let's jump into it.
Because like at the end of it, we were so sure of like our decisions, like no hard feelings. Like we were like, cool.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex and I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Please hype the videos. I know it's late in the week, so you might not have one, but if you feel so inclined, please do. We are coming to the home stretch of this Love is Blind season. I'm not gonna lie, we get into the point in the season where I am tired of all of these people. But anyway, today we are going to get into Love is Blind Season 10, Episode 10. Bri and Chris, we're still at this little shindig or whatever, and Bri is still feigning confusion that she doesn't understand that Chris is into her. Which again, Breezy, you wanted this, girly. What happened?
Jess was like, oh, you're my number one, Chris. I told Connor.
Because you knew we were dating.
But anyway, she's like, so why didn't you say this in Cabo? Why didn't you tell anybody? I mean, honestly, everybody could see the love and connection between you guys. Oh, really, Breezy? But when you were at the pool and you wanted him to like you, y'all both diabolical. Honestly, you two probably deserve each other if we're being honest. So he claims that he told Connor in the pods that he told him the day that Jess said, hey, you're my number one, that he told that to Connor, and that was the day that Connor broke it off with Emma and decided instead to go to Bri. So he's basically implying that the reason why Connor broke it off is because Chris had said that his number one was Jess, that they had called each other's number one. And I'm like, look, even if that series of events is true and it fits in with what we sort of saw, because I do vividly remember being avidly confused why Connor broke it off so quickly that day. It was really weird. The day he broke it off with Emma, that was a very odd conversation. This man is lying. He's lying. He is lying. I don't think it happened as cut and dry as he is framing it. Nothing that comes out of Chris's mouth is the truth. And again, for Chris to be calling this his best friend and saying that he loves Connor so much, it is diabolical to be trying to pit the two of them against each other. If you're Breezy, how do you even find that attractive? Chris keeps going on and on about how finally when he saw Bri in real life, she was so hot. She was so hot. And he's like, let me ask you a question. Take your wedding ring off when I say this. Do you find me attractive? Do you find me hot? Because listen, I know you need a guy that's assets driven, that has these assets, that's goal driven. I know the type of man you need. I think we would be fuck buddies. I would even bring you to the Four Seasons. I like it there. And some people might even say that's luxurious. I'm like, what? Is this hot to you, ladies? Is this what the ladies in Ohio like and are falling for? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They start flirting a little. She's like, oh my God, room service for Mr. Fusco. He's like, baby, stop. And I'm like, baby? But he starts to ask her again, like, why didn't you communicate with me? Why haven't you talked to me, basically? And she's like, because I'm in a relationship. Because I'm with Connor. Breezy, you're really towing the line. But Priyanka comes over and again, Chris is so drunk. He's like, oh, apparently I'm Andrew Tate. Apparently I'm Andrew Tate. They're like, who? And I'm like, that's good. That's good. You don't know that. Anyway, he's like, apparently I'm that Andrew Tate guy. I'm like, oh, please don't pretend like you don't watch Andrew Tate. But they cut this off as they should, because this whole thing is a bunch of baloney. What are we even talking about? This man isn't even forming full sentences. Ugh. So we get a few other conversations at the shindig. Kevin is talking to a group of everybody. Kia is there as well. And they're asking, oh, what was y'all's story? What happened? And he basically explains that he had 2 women in the pods and he couldn't make a decision. Amber chimes in and she's like, in their defense, they're both badasses. Listen, I got some smoke for Amber this episode because some of y'all in the comments were like, what's the hostility for Amber? I don't have hostility for her. I just know Amber's annoying. And to me, she proved it in these next couple of episodes. But anyway, Kia's making faces like, okay. But Kevin again is giving the same regurgitated speech about how, oh my goodness, you know, she's so amazing. He's never gonna forget her. They ask if the 2 of them talk. They currently don't. And good riddance. They should. They shouldn't, you know. Kia was right. Kevin isn't ready for a relationship of that type quite yet. And though I don't think she needed to be the one to say it, it is true. So there needs to be no, we're going to keep it open-ended. We're going to keep it open-ended. Just move on. Just move on. Both of you. So Priyanka, Ashley, and Alex. Ashley's like, how do you guys know each other again? And Priyanka's like, oh, we originally met in Chicago, but we met up in Austin. He's like, by the way, I honestly thought you moved to Austin. I'm kind of shocked that you're here, so what's up with that? Priyanka proceeds to say, because yeah, when I met up with you in Austin, you told me that you were with the travel nurse that you were with and you were staying at her place. And Ashley's like, what? I thought you just went to go visit her and hook up with her. What do you mean you were living at her place? Priyanka's like, wait, what? She wasn't on assignment? Because that's what you told me, that you were staying at her place because she was on assignment. And Alex is like, no.
Didn't say that.
I said that I was staying at her place. We hooked up.
Well, she was on assignment. When you say she's on assignment, I'm assuming she is like out of Austin. Yeah, she was not.
Again, you could tell Alex is sweating. His heart is beating fast because, again, another lie clocked. It's actually insane how this man, I don't think, has told us one true thing yet on screen about him. But his heart is beating fast. And Ashley's like, you never told me you lived at this girl's house. You never told me you were in Austin living at her house. You told me that you went to visit her at one point, but that's all you ever told me. Now I'm finding out that you lived at her house, but supposedly you've been in Cleveland for 1.5 years. So what is the truth? Based off the timeline you told me. Classic liar. Oh, I'm being double teamed. That's crazy. Why would you guys do that to me? Why would you double team me? You're double teaming me. They're like, no, we're just trying to figure out your timeline. Priyanka's like, I was under the impression that you were staying with the travel nurse at her house because she was on assignment. That's what you told me. So it's not really adding up now how you're in Cleveland and you've been here for 1.5 years.
You just moved to Austin.
Did I say I just moved to Austin?
You definitely told me that you had moved there, and then I thought actually
He's like, I have a Cleveland driver's license. I'm like, you idiot. You don't get driver's licenses for cities, you get them for states. What a fucking, oh my God. He's like, I can show you my Cleveland driver's license. Okay, Alex, okay. Ashley's like, you never told me you lived in Austin. That was never part of the story. So again, I'm just trying to understand your timeline. Classic liar tactic, deflection. Oh, so you've never dated other people before? You've never been with somebody else before? It's like, no, that's not the problem, idiot. The problem is that nothing you say adds up. He's like, oh my God, do you remember who you were with and what you were doing and exactly where you were at on February 7th? And I'm like, yeah, actually, if we're talking about years, because Ashley was like, your story doesn't add up even to the year. We're not talking about what you did on a specific date. We can't even corroborate how long you've been in Cleveland and how long you've been out of Austin, where you supposedly lived, and I had no idea. So again, he tries to say that, oh, he shouldn't have to say all of these things and put everything on the table and he's allowed to have his life before. And Priyanka's like, yeah, but the point is, this has to be on the table because you guys are going to get married. So actually, yeah, you do. You do need to tell your future wife what's going on. And he's like, okay, so then why are you here then? Huh? And Priyanka, luckily, is like, you're not going to snap at me. I'm not gonna take that from you, cause shit, he'll talk to Ashley any type of way and she keeps her mouth shut. Priyanka's like, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. I'll leave though and let you have a conversation with your wife. You guys go figure it out, or your fiance. Priyanka leaves and Ashley is like, this doesn't make sense. He's like, I could tell you the whole thing. I could tell you the whole thing from start to finish. Ashley's like, look, all I needed you to do was be honest. Even if you had said, yeah, I told you this, but that's not the truth, and this is what actually happened, I would have taken that. But it's the fact that you're lying and lying and lying. I'm like, Alex, this lady is giving you such an easy out. She's straight up telling you, if you just admit that you lied, I will still be with you. And you still have the audacity to lie. So Alex, smugly, well, where does that leave us then? And she's like, I don't know. It's in your hands. Ugh. Chris and Jess have a very awkward conversation. He is so drunk. Everybody's picking up on.
I appreciate you apologizing. I
think you're very attractive, Jess.
Thank you.
You have dark
face. And he's like, you look beautiful. You know, I just want to let you know that I think you are beautiful. You have beautiful dark features. I'm like, did you all rehearse this line? And luckily, Jess is like, you don't need to tell me that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm beautiful. So he's like, how have you been at work? How have things been? She's like, I've been at the hospital literally every single day, and it's been terrible. For the record, I felt awful, but I've had to deal with it. He's like, well, you never even talked to me. I haven't even heard from you. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, the only time you texted me was, are you alive? And I'm like, the nerve for this man to call himself a victim. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe things are not fully done. I'm like, yeah, when you realize Breezy doesn't want you, now you want to run back to Jess. Now you want to run back to her. He's like, when can you chill? I'm like, that's insane. You are asking an established 38-year-old doctor when she can chill. Like y'all are 10. Like y'all are teenagers. Like you're 15. And I'm so glad Jess just laughed in this man's face and was like, I don't know what you're talking about. We are done. This is not a thing. And I don't want you. Now we see Jordan, and he is talking a little bit about how he is really, really nervous to meet Amber's daughter, Emma. He doesn't know how Emma's going to feel about him, but he did buy a gift bag and all of this different stuff. He's never been a father. Amber is getting increasingly more paranoid. So she calls Jordan over and she's like, hey, if you want to quit this at any time, just let me know. You don't have to be in this. And I'm like, oh, here she goes. Here she goes. So back at home, Ashley and Alex, they are still talking about this situation. And Ashley's like, can you explain to me fully what the nature of the relationship is that you have with this girl? And he's like, listen, I don't talk to her. She has somebody else. I have somebody else. We're both happy for each other. We have no communication. Ashley's like, okay, but like, let's say we break up. Would you go talk to her in like 2 weeks, 2 days? He's like, no. She has somebody else. And they're seemingly fine. Again, Ashley, where is the worth for yourself, girlie? Because this is not it. This is not it. Amber's distraught. She leaves the party alone. Jordan comes back a little bit later, and Jordan goes in the room and tries to talk to her.
Get me the fuck off. Okay.
And he's like, hey, you all right? You all right? Amber ignores him. I told y'all Amber was annoying, and I told y'all Amber was probably childish and petty and had a little complex. But y'all wanted to say that I'm just being mean to Amber. I saw the signs in Amber so early. She ignores him. She's like, I don't
want to be with somebody if they don't want to be with me, if they don't accept me being a mom.
Seriously, Amber? You purposefully chose a man who told you multiple times that he is not a father. He has never been a father. And the nerve and audacity of Amber to claim that Jordan has never told her that he had reservations about this. Well, we have heard him say, I am nervous to meet Emma. I am nervous about this. I don't know how it's gonna go. But again, y'all have such low self-worth that you will pick anybody and then you want to be mad at them for not bending to what you're expecting. Be so for real, Amber. I'm sorry. Amber's a silent one. She's a silent one that I could tell had a little thing going on. Let the trauma go, Amber. So Jordan is talking to the dog in the kitchen and production. And he's like, I was just trying to be honest. I've never been a father. I've never been in this situation. And now I guess I have another person here that won't say anything or won't listen when I talk about my feelings. And he talking about the dog. I'm like, oh boy. Bri and Connor, they are talking about the conversation with Chris. Bri is letting Connor know that Chris was asking, oh, why didn't I get your number? Why didn't I get your number? I said, it's because I'm with someone. Then she does ask about the situation with Bri being chosen by Connor, apparently after he found out that Jess is number one. You know, the whole little triangle that he tried to formulate. And Connor's like, that's not true. You were always my number one. I was always going to pick you. And it's crazy that because it didn't work out with his girl, now all of a sudden he wants to try to sow discourse between the two of us. And I agree. You ate that up, Connor, because that's true. You're not happy with your situation, and now you want to try to break them up? Petty, childish. Bri says it's so hard
For her though, because she respected Chris so much.
but all of this has really given her the ick. And I'm like, what has he given you to respect? This man talks a big game, but nothing about him lines up with the game that he talks. Next morning, we see Christine and Vic shopping for flowers. I've kept my mouth shut about Vic this whole season, mostly because who I know Vic to be is not depicted on the screen. Let me put it that way. And I feel like if I say this stuff, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you're going to think I'm
Jealous! I want their relationship!
I don't, but y'all will think I do. And I just want to know when we can have the conversation about Vic and the problematic nature of him as well. And not towards Christine. Lord, I can't even talk. Not towards Christine. I think he's going to treat Christine like a queen. But are we going to talk about the fact that Vic has tried to dissociate from his blackness because he has some things of his own that he hasn't healed? Because remember, he's come down so hard on Christine for not forgiving her father for the whole predicament that he put her in as a child. But are we going to talk about the parts of Vic where he dissociates from his blackness because he's not healed? It was very telling in the preview for the wedding that Vic's mother or sister, some female family member of his, was like, it's crazy that we're just meeting Christine for the first time today on the day of the wedding. This man don't associate with his family, associate with the black side. Baby, I grew up around a lot of Vics, okay? A lot of Vics. I grew up in Massachusetts. I've seen a lot of Vic. Vic is Grenadian. I'm Grenadian as well. Let me tell you. But I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there with Vic and Christine. Like I said, I've kept my mouth shut for the season. I think he's gonna treat her very well. Yes, he will. Mike and Emma. She's asking him, okay, so what colors don't you want at the wedding? And he's like, I don't know, whatever you like. And she's like, no, I want you to have an opinion too. I hate guys like that. I hate guys that are like, whatever you want, honey. No, have an opinion, please. Brittany and Devontae, they go to her house. They check out her basement lash salon. Her house looks very, very beautiful. So they talk a little bit about finances.
Okay.
Like $1,800
Got it.
for bills. I don't even think it's that much.
Like all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. My previous.
Her mortgage is $1,800 for that house. And Devontae reveals that he was paying over $5,000 for a place in Charlotte. I'm like, Charlotte, North Carolina? Over 5,000? Huh? So he gets more into his finances and he's basically like, yeah, I can make anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 a month, but I always try to have minimum 6 months in savings. And Brittany's like, sounds like you're great with finances, honey. And you know what? Honestly, sometimes I shop a little bit too much, but you know, I think you'll be doing the books for us. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, well, you're not going to be taken out of my pot. And I was like, ooh, What that mean? He want to have separate accounts? I wasn't sure if, like, I don't know. Weird comment. Bri and Connor, they go meet her dad in Grand Rapids. We just get some pictures on screen. I presume it went okay. Amber and Jordan, they are still fighting. So Amber comes back in and he's like, hey, how was your day? She's like, I need a drink. She pours the drink immediately. I'm like, okay. Amber goes in and she's like, I thought the communication was open about everything. I had no idea that you were harboring these feelings about potentially dealing with me having a kid and whatnot.
And it's like, hey, I wasn't really feeling this, or like I was feeling another type of way. You just need to be straight up with me.
You know, I feel bad that you think that.
Honestly, if it's about Emma, we could work through that. But if it's about me, then I can't do this. I've been with so many men before that will lie and say stuff that they want to marry you. And instead, it's all just a bunch of crap. I don't even trust men. I'm like, whoa. Listen, Jordan is my favorite man this season, so I'ma have his back. Jordan is my favorite man this entire season. Amber, you are doing a lot. Amber, also another person who is unhealed, who is projecting, who is putting a 10 on 2. Like, what is going on? Jordan didn't say any of this. And to be honest, the stuff that she's upset about, Jordan has already stated. We have seen on the TV show that he has said repeatedly, I don't have a kid. I'm worried to meet Emma. And every time Amber left, it's fine. You're going to be fine. What are you talking about? Jordan's like, I'm really sorry that for some reason you interpreted anything I said as me not liking you. All I stated was that, look, I don't know what it's going to be like to be a father figure. I've never been a father figure, so I'm a little bit afraid. It's like, I'm just nervous, that's all. And as, you know, look, Jordan, he goes on to sort of de-escalate the situation, hug her, and I'm like, I don't know, Jordan. As I just feel it with Amber. I really feel it with Amber. And I like Jordan. Jordan seems like a very nice guy. He seems very mild-mannered, level-headed. And Amber, I don't know. They hug it out for now, but I'm like, I don't know, Jordan. Maybe you shouldn't. I also found it very weird that Amber was like, it's okay if you feel some type of way about Emma. We can work through that. But if you don't like me, it's done. I'm like, what? Wouldn't him not wanting to be around your daughter also be an auto deal breaker? What are you talking about? The level of desperation on this season is insane. They have the dress and tux fitting, and Connor is filling in all the guys about what's going on with Chris, and everyone's kind of like, I don't know, man. We got a solid group, and he has to try to come in here and infiltrate this whole thing. I think it was Mike that chimed in and is like, look, he knows that Bri ain't gonna date a guy under 5'9". He ain't gonna date someone 5'6", okay? She ain't dating no short king. That was funny. Y'all know I don't really say much about the dress and tux fitting. I actually find the scene to be boring and low-key watch it on 2 times. But we heard Brittany's mama speak, and I was like, oh, mom can speak. I guess maybe she's just soft-spoken. Alex is still being cocky, talking about he wants to have a trust in New Zealand. He sees himself in Florida, blah, blah, blah. Jordan was funny. He was like, look, I know I'm a big boy, so I want Tux to slim me down just a little bit. Connor, all of his friends are named Alex. We had Alex A, B, and C. That's it. That's all we got for this episode, y'all. So, we moving into these weddings soon. If you made it to this point of the video, that means you liked the video, so I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Please hype the videos, and I will talk to you guys in episode 11. Bye!